But the first, that's where the magic happens. That's when you start to write your own story. You decide what happens in the next chapter. You're the author. Welcome to the Self-Paid Club podcast. I'm your host, Samantha Peddle, a small-town wife and mom who started my first business at 17 and never looked back. For over a decade, I've been helping other ambitious souls build insane wealth in both life and business. We believe that success comes from growth as the whole person, mastering your time, money, and mindset for a balance between all three. Ditch the hustle culture and achieve your dream life by embracing your own vibe, doing it weird, and doing it your way. This is your destination for all things business strategy, mindset work, success, personal development, marketing, and everything in between. If your mission is to build an empire while having fun, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. With each new season comes change in both the outer world and our inner world. If you wish to capitalize on the change and make it a new season in your life as well, this is the perfect exercise. It can even be used during any new beginning of your life, whether it's New Year's, your birthday, time to pivot in your business, or whatever the case may be. This exercise will help steer you in a fresh direction and look at your business and life in general with a new perspective. All you need to complete this is a pen and paper, or even your notes app on your phone, and a small chunk of time. So even if you only have 10 minutes, that's a great start. It's quick and easy and worth it, I promise. I'm going to go through the 3 stages of this exercise, and I want you to write down your thoughts for each one. If you're currently driving or cooking or working out or anything, you can also do this in your head as you listen, so you don't have to be sitting at a desk with a pen and paper. We're currently welcoming in spring here in Canada and the Northern Hemisphere, which inspired me to create this exercise to help you navigate the upcoming changes. I love to do this at each new season, and it's really helped me dial in and focus on what's important in my life and my business so that I'm not filling it with just useless things. Whether you're listening as this episode is released or you're coming back to it at a different time throughout the year, there's always space to reflect on where you're at in life and in business. And if you're feeling overwhelmed or lost or disconnected from your marketing efforts, like for example, you've lost your flow on social media and you're having trouble creating content lately, then this exercise might actually help you realign yourself with your business and come at it from a new point of view, or figure out what needs to change in order for you to feel aligned again. Speaking of spring, every time the seasons change, Mother Nature teaches us that change can be beautiful. So many of us are afraid of change. Right? We resist. We resist it as hard as we possibly can. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's literally programmed in our DNA as human beings to stay within our comfort zone. Right? Our egos are meant to keep us safe, somewhere we know and somewhere we're familiar with, even if it's not where we actually want to be right now. That's why it's so difficult to make changes in your life. Even if you're struggling financially or in your marriage or any other way, it's hard to make change because your subconscious mind is trying to keep you in a state that you're already familiar with, even if you're just surviving and not thriving. Your subconscious mind is trying to keep you there because you're familiar with it. In order to reach the point of thriving, change needs to happen. And the funny thing is, it's going to happen whether you like it or not. The only constant in our lives is change. It's inevitable. It comes and goes whether you choose it or not. Then it does it all over again as soon as you get comfortable and settled. Your job is to decide whether you're going to be the catalyst for change or if you're going to just sit back and let life happen to you as it will. Because even if you resist, life still goes on. It still goes on, it still moves forward, change still happens. That second option gives you no control. You're powerless in your own skin when you're the resistor. But the first, that's where the magic happens. That's when you start to write your own story. You decide what happens in the next chapter. You're the author. Whatever you write comes true, if you have the courage to believe in it and yourself enough. Always remember that Mother Nature knows best. The seasons change like clockwork with no resistance, just leaning into the process. So let's follow her lead. Let's follow her lead and ignite the fuse for the next change in your life today, right now. So, the first stage of the changing of the seasons exercise is improve. In this stage, I want you to brainstorm everything that you want to 1, do more of, 2, do less of, and 3, do better. Now, this is not for listing things that you want to completely stop. It's more for things that you want to continue in some variation. So when we're going through this exercise, I encourage you to write down anything and everything that comes to mind, whether it has to do with your business, your personal life, or anything in between. Write it down. It's a great overall exercise that will tie together both your life and business as one, instead of treating them like separate identities. Because in truth, they're you, right? Embrace them both as who you are and as your purpose in life, and intertwine them. For example, maybe you'd like to scroll through social media less and consume less content to spend less wasted time on your phone, because honestly, it would be better spent elsewhere. Or maybe it's complete opposite. Maybe you want to do less customer service in your business and you decide to outsource this task to a freelancer or a VA, virtual assistant, that could help you minimize your workload. Something that you want to do less of. As for doing more of something, maybe you want to prioritize exercise more in your life. Could be something simple. And lastly, something you'd like to do better. So maybe one of them is creating content for your business. You'd like to do that better. You'd like to be more consistent and really dial in on your messaging so that each post you put out into the world comes back tenfold with results. So your efforts are paying off more, right? Maybe you want to do social media better. Keep listing things under each of these 3 categories, and when you're ready, let's move on to the second stage of this exercise. If you're an ambitious woman ready to build the online business of your dreams, you need 3 things to succeed with your marketing efforts. Number 1, you need to know your ideal client inside and out. You need to know what makes them tick and how to speak directly to them in order to make them feel like your offer is the perfect one to solve their problem. Number 2, you need video content that you can use for Reels, Stories, and across the other social platforms. And 3, you need scroll-stopping hooks that will grab attention and make your dream clients want to read more. To get your hands on the exact strategies to nail your niche, dial in on your ideal client, create months worth of video content in one day, and hook your viewers in just one line, join myself and other fempreneurs just like you inside Thrive, my monthly coaching experience where you'll receive all this and more. Plus, if you like the podcast, the semi-weekly coaching sessions inside there will light a fire to fuel your business to the moon. For all the details, visit samanthapedal.com/thrive. All right, back to the changing of the seasons exercise. The first stage was improve. Now let's move on to the second stage of remove. In this stage, I want you to list all the things that you no longer want to be part of your routine or your life. Things you want to remove completely. Things that are taking up time in your days that maybe are unnecessary at this point in your life. Things that you wouldn't miss if you stopped doing. Things that aren't directly moving the needle and making you money. Or things that you thoroughly just don't enjoy and don't see as required on your path. Let's say, for example, you're trying to grow your business by showing up on all the social platforms, all of them. You're on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, and maybe a couple more. You're spreading yourself so thin, way too thin, and you're making content creation a full-time job and more when you have other things to do in your business. You can't spend all your time creating content because you do have other tasks, right? Maybe you'll choose to completely remove one or more of these platforms from your marketing strategy. Maybe you'll remove it completely. Maybe you'll take out Pinterest, or you'll take out YouTube, or anything, right? Maybe you'll remove one so that you can focus on becoming an expert on the other platforms that you do choose to keep. It's better to focus on less and become a master than it is to spread yourself too thin and kind of disappear into the cracks. There are so many possibilities for what you can remove, so dig deep and really think about your weekly routine in your life and in your business, and reflect on what's currently part of your life, and if anything can actually be removed to make space for better things, because this is going to be important in the next stage. Okay, we've finished with stages 1 and 2, improve and remove. The final stage of this exercise, stage 3, is start anew. In this stage, come up with things you want to start doing and add to your routine or your life. Brand new things you currently don't think that you have time for, you've been putting off, or that you've recently discovered and are really interested in making time for them. This is why it's important to first recognize the things that you can remove from your life in the previous stage so that you can make space for the things that you want to start anew. Because you can't just keep adding things to your life, right? You have to make space for them. We don't have unlimited time. So in order to prioritize and organize your time, you want to remove some things that aren't serving you and add new things that will. When you're brainstorming in this stage, consider hobbies you're interested in taking up, maybe family time you'd like to incorporate more into your days, maybe a weekly date night with your partner to prioritize your relationship, or maybe even a new offer that you'd like to launch in your business that you've been really holding back on. Things you want to start anew. That's it for the changing of the seasons exercise, so let's review. The 3 stages are improve, remove, and start anew. You've reflected on things you'd like to do more of, do less of, do better, things you'd like to remove completely, and brand new things you'd like to start. Now you can begin coming up with a plan to implement these desires into your life and business during this upcoming season. So my advice would be to make one small change at a time rather than switching up your entire schedule and flipping your life upside down right away. If you've listed a lot of stuff in this exercise, it might be overwhelming to you. So change one small thing at a time over the next couple weeks. Or if you feel comfortable just diving right into your new lifestyle immediately, then go for it. No time like the present. If you weren't able to write down your thoughts as you listen to the exercise, I do encourage you to come back to this episode later when you have 10 minutes to sit quietly and map out what you want this new season of life to look like. Because there's something so powerful about writing down your thoughts, like you're setting them in stone and calling them into existence. I'm a big believer of writing things down with a physical pen and paper. That's all for today. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Self-Paid Club podcast. If you found value in this episode, please rate the show and leave a review. It means a lot for me to hear from you, and I'd love to know what you find valuable during these discussions and what you want to hear more about. Until next time, stay wealthy.